In the category of choral reading, now performing Girl Wash Your Face.
Warning! You are not about to learn about the most recent trends of facial cleansing. Girl Wash Your Face is a book by Rachel Hollis and is empowering to all those who dare to read it.
Inspiring others through her own experiences, Rachel Hollis has created a movement amongst women.
It's funny, it's serious,
it's good.
Hey girl, hey!
This book is about a bunch of hurtful lies and one important truth.
The truth? You and only you are ultimately responsible for who you become and how happy you are. That's the takeaway.
Have you ever believed that you aren't good enough? That you're not thin enough? That you're unlovable?
That you're a bad mom? Have you ever believed that you deserve to be treated badly?
That you'll never amount to anything?
All lies.
Something else will make
me happy.
Lies.
I'll start
Lies.
tomorrow.
Lies.
I'm not good enough.
Lies.
I'm better than you.
Lies.
No is the
Lies.
final answer.
Lies.
I should be further along by
Lies.
now. I need
Lies.
to make myself smaller.
Lies.
I'm a terrible writer.
Lies.
I will never
Lies.
get past this.
Lies.
I am defined
Lies.
by my weight.
Lies.
There's only one
Lies.
right way to be.
Lies.
I need a hero.
Lies.
All lies.
The lie.
Something else will make me happy. When I say unhappy, I mean
unhappy.
I don't mean depressed.
I also don't mean sadness.
When I say unhappy, I mean discontented, unsettled, frustrated, angry, any number of emotions that make us want to hide from our lives.
Instead of embracing them with arms wide open like a Creed song.
Take responsibility for your own life and your own happiness. Said another way, a harsher, more likely to get me punched in the face way. If you're unhappy, that's on you. Things that helped me. Number 1, I stopped comparing myself.
Number 2, I surrounded myself with positivity.
Number 3, I figured out what makes me happy and I do those things. The lie. I'll start tomorrow.
I used to say that all the time, until I realized how hard I was fighting to keep my word to other people while quickly canceling on myself.
I'll work out tomorrow because I'm not working out anytime soon.
Because honestly, if you really cared about that commitment, you'd do it when you said you would.
If you constantly make and break promises to yourself, you're not making promises at all.
You're talking.
When you really want something,
You will find a way.
when you really don't want something,
You will find an excuse.
the lie.
I'm not good enough.
I'm a workaholic.
After a series of headaches and dizzy spells, I visited a doctor. His remedy for my sickness? Go home and do nothing. Discover that your world does implode without you going 100 miles an hour. Get up the next day and do it again.
Things that helped me.
I reordered my priority list. Kids, partner, work, faith, friends, etc. The order may change, but the bullets never do. Don't forget, you should be the very first of your priorities.
The lie.
I'm better than you.
I feel the need to confess. I shave my toes.
I totally do.
None of this will be such a big deal for me to make, except that I once made fun of a girl in freshman year English class for doing this exact thing.
Rachel number 1.
Hairy digits.
Rachel number 2.
Hypocrisy.
The first step towards getting past the desire to judge and compete is admitting that no one is immune. The second step is recognizing that just because you believe it
Doesn't mean it's true for everyone.
In so many instances, judgment comes from a place of feeling as though you've somehow got it all figured out when others do not.
The lie. No is the final answer.
Truly, I've been told no so many different ways and by so many different people that sometimes it feels as if life itself is saying no.
I'm an expert in rejection, or more specifically, I'm an expert in bouncing back from rejection and fighting my way toward
My goal. I suppose if I can gift you anything in the reading of this, it's that no is only an answer if you accept it.
The lie.
I should be further along by now. Last week, I sat around with a group of women enjoying a glass of wine and a chat. The topic of age came up, and whether or not we like to celebrate our birthdays and the passing
of another year.
The general consensus was
Definitely not.
They disliked growing older because of what
Wasn't happening.
You see, they'd all make plans.
As little girls or adolescents or women in their early 20s,
They'd made all sorts of them. Little plans and big plans.
And they assumed they would have been accomplished long before now.
But ladies, we need to recognize that this mentality doesn't do any of us any good. We're focusing all of our attention on the absence of something.
things that helped me. Number 1, making a list of my accomplishments.
Number 2, talking to someone.
Number 3, setting goals.
Not time limits.
The lie.
I need to make myself smaller.
A large part of why I don't want to be boastful is because I learned a long time ago that I was a little girl who had no clue what she was talking about.
Being big while also being small is an impossible task for anyone.
I have so many goals and dreams for myself, and not one of them is small.
They're big and wild and full of hope. They require faith and courage and a whole lot of audacity.
I cannot get there. I will not get there.
Unless I start embracing every side of my character.
Including the sides of me that make other people feel uncomfortable.
Those dreams you have for yourself are not silly.
They are the roadmap to your divine calling.
Don't sit this one out.
Don't let someone else's opinion of you determine your worth.
Don't miss on the chance to live the life of incredible possibility in front of you.
You were not made to be small.
You are a grown woman.
And it's time you grow up.
The lie.
I'm a terrible writer. After I published my first book, I would occasionally, every 11 seconds, check Goodreads to see what people were saying about it. Then one day, it suddenly ended. I got my first bad review. Then I learned someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. Someone else's opinion of me is none of my business. Someone else's opinion of you is none of your business.
The lie.
I will never get past this.
Since I'm talking about the hard things I've battled and conquered through the stretch of life, I would be remiss to leave out the one thing I didn't think I could overcome.
There are many types of trauma. Big, small, childhood, adult, but we all belong to a club
We never asked to join.
As an adolescent, my big brother was my protector.
He taught me how to handle a bully,
How to throw a punch, and how to thread a ramen noodle through my nose and out my mouth.
He wasn't necessarily better or worse than anyone else's big brother.
But he was mine, and I loved him. He was my brother until I was about 12 years old.
When his mental illness took over.
He took his own life before I turned 15.
In his worst moment, my big brother got access to a handgun and left the discovery of his body to me.
I don't want to talk about.
The nightmares that came afterward, or the crippling fear that I experienced.
For years afterward, I assumed every sleeping person, sitting person, and unmoving person I encountered must be dead too.
I don't want to talk about how when some well-meaning family members came to clean up his room, they covered the bloody wall with the only paint we had on hand that day.
I don't want to tell you that.
Because of that, seeing silver spray paint still makes me sick to my stomach.
I don't want to tell you about any of these hidden, ugly, dark truths.
But I will. I will tell you about my trauma in some of its gruesome detail.
Because I want you to know, there was a time when I didn't think I could wade through it.
There was a time when even with my future stretched out in front of me,
All I could see was blood and fear and loss.
But I am still here.
And so are you!
I'm still here because I refuse to let anything or anyone decide what I get to have. I am still here because I will not let my trauma have the last word.
I am still here because I will not let a nightmare have more power than my dreams.
I am still here because I didn't allow that hard time to make me weak. I willed it to make me strong.
I would give nearly anything to have my brother here with us.
To know I'm whole and healthy.
Losing was so devastating, I could easily have allowed it to.
destroying me.
What happened to my nerves, my sleep, my sense of safety?
and worse, my sense of trust because of having seen him that way,
might have totally crippled me.
Instead, I've flipped a narrative inside my mind.
Even as a teenager, I used to think, you can do this, Rachel. You can do anything. Think of what you've lived through already.
The lie.
I'm defined by my weight.
When I emerged from the haze of sickness, I lost a massive amount of weight.
I was so very tiny.
I couldn't stop staring at myself in the mirror.
I was positive that my life was everything I've ever hoped for.
I vowed on my soul that
I would not
gain the weight back. But I was hungry.
I was so stinking hungry all the time.
I know they say nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, but I assume that's because they've never had nachos Bel Grande.
I gained the weight back. And then some.
The lie I used to believe was that my weight would define me.
That it would speak volumes about who I was as a person.
Today, I believe it's not your body that defines you,
But the care and consideration
You put into your body absolutely does.
The lie.
I need a hero.
I wasn't what anyone would call athletic. I was president of the drama club.
A preteen who stayed in Girl Scouts long after it was cool.
A card-carrying member of the FFA.
That's the future farmers of America for any of you who didn't grow up in God's country.
I was never more than mediocre at any sort of sport, and honestly, I didn't really mind. We all have our gifts, and mine are far, far removed from the athletic field.
After seeing Dave successfully train and run a half marathon,
I decided to do it too.
So I started training for a half marathon, which, if you're curious,
It's like running in sand while wearing a backpack full of pudding.
Everything is hard.
everything feels awkward.
Every single new mile makes you want to pee.
But I didn't give up. And slowly,
so stinking slowly
I got stronger,
and better.
1/4 mile at a time.
And for once, I didn't beg off or get lazy or stop trying. I did it.
It was during my first half marathon, mile 11 to be exact.
That I struggled the most.
I kept scrolling through my iPad to find a song that would fire me up.
Because by that point, I listened to or skipped over every tune I had.
I landed on Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler.
It did the trick.
I was feeling a little better and picking up my pace as I started to sing along with Bonnie.
But then I realized,
I don't need to find anyone.
right now, in this moment, I'm my own hero. I have pushed myself to do something I never thought I could be capable of.
And it lit a fire within my own soul.
Nobody forced me to put in those miles. Nobody woke me up in the morning and made me research the right shoes.
Nobody else got the sunburns or the blisters or saved up to pay the entrance fee.
That was all me.
And all the things you've achieved,
The big and little stuff, the achievements that made you who you are,
Those are all you.
Only you have the power to change your life.
you have the ability to change your life.
You've always had the power, Dorothy.
you just have to stop waiting for someone else to do it for you.
you have the power.
Stop waiting for someone else to fix your life.
Stop assuming that someday it will magically improve on its own.
Stop presuming if only you had the right job, the right man, the right house.
The right car, the right whatever.
That your life will become what you've always dreamed of.
Be honest about who you are and what you need to do to make a change.
Girl, get a hold of your life.
Stop medicating.
Stop hiding out.
Stop being afraid.
Stop giving away pieces of yourself.
Stop saying you can't do it.
Stop the negative self-talk.
Stop abusing your body.
Stop putting it off for tomorrow or Monday or the next year.
Stop crying about what happened and take control of what happens next.
Get up right now.
Rise up from where you've been, scrub away the tears and the pain of yesterday, and start again.
Girl, wash your face.